take a turn, talk some football. Cowboys are all in on franchise quarterback Dak Prescott, with the two sides on the cusp of a contract extension that will reward Dak handsomely. The rumored payout, $30 million a year. That is pretty handsome. But Cowboys' new quarterback coach, Jon Kitna, taking it one step further, comparing Dak to Hall of Famer Warren Moon. See, you played with Moon. You buying the comparison?
So excited for this.
No. Let's just,
I'm so excited for this.
What's happening?
I'm trying not to explode. I'm just trying to go through, because I'm trying to go through how many other black quarterbacks, because those are the similarities. They're both black and they play quarterback. What other quarterbacks he could have grabbed besides grabbing my guy? Anytime someone mentions Warren Moon, I have to follow it up by, I only played 2 seasons with him, and those two seasons went like this. 244 catches, 24 touchdowns.
It's 122 catches, 12 touchdowns a year.
I think I had, I can't remember how many yards. I had a little short of 3,000. I can't remember. Warren Moon is amazing. Warren Moon used to tell me, Chris, the difference between me and everyone else you've played with, I was like, what is it, Warren? He said, those other guys, you got to be this far open. He said, with me, I need you to be this far open, and I'm going to tell you, you have the type of hands, I'm going to throw the ball to you sometime when you're double covered and you're covered, because I believe in you. So I'm just going to tell you from a psychological standpoint, talking football. Me and Warren Moon had one spat when we were together. It was in one of the first practices that we had, and he decided when I was the primary guy that he was going to utilize his football knowledge and throw the ball to someone else. And I decided, you are not going to do that to Cris Carter. Man, I ripped into him. And he gave me one of these finger points and told me to come here. And told me, you'll never talk to me. You'll never talk to me ever that way again. And he said, I'm throwing the ball to these guys in practice so they can develop some confidence. Even me, as an old guy, I know, you idiot, that you're going to be open in the game. I'm playing the game now in practice. So everyone else feels like no matter what the route is, you're the primary guy. They got to run hard because I'll throw it to them. I was like, oh, okay. Well, you play quarterback. I'm going to try to play wide receiver. He taught me so many things as far as training, taking care of your body, how important weightlifting was to it. Taught me so many things as a leader. Warren Moon is one of the 5 greatest football players I played with. And I played with 8 Hall of Famers. Right. So I got to select him, first ballot Hall of Famer. I got to select him amongst others. Him, Reggie White. Those 2 right there. I'm not even going to mention the other 3. But that's what I think about Warren Moon. That was the kind of football IQ he had. Man, he was an amazing, amazing football player. And I feel I'm obligated because Kitna did it. I like Kitna. Kitna hadn't had a lot of experience coaching in the league, but I like Kitna. I like his whole story. When you drop a name like that on one of the up-and-coming stars on the Dallas Cowboys, it's up to me to give some clarity to people, to let them know who he was comparing them to. Because he wasn't just comparing them to any other quarterback. Warren Moon is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play, and he's the greatest African-American quarterback that's ever played in the NFL.
So then tell me what you think Kitna was referring to. Why would he pick Moon?
Go ahead. I think because people in general have trouble making cross-racial comparisons, and so you just mind automatically. You see a great white, Keith Van Horn was going to be the next Larry Bird. Well, I guess he's a white dude. He's taking number 2 in the draft, so I guess he's going to be Larry Bird. The Cowboys' entire organization clearly is very invested in talking up Dak Prescott. So the very best black quarterback you can compare him to is, of course, Warren Moon. But listen, Warren Moon, go back to when he was in college. And watch those tapes. Like, this is unfair. He also, take him when he was in college or take him today. I think he's a more impressive physical specimen than Dak today. And Warren's 50-something years old. So yes, that's an unfair standard. The reality is for Dak, or if we're going to compare players to great players, there is a Cowboy you can compare to an all-time great through this part of his career. You want to do Zeke versus Emmett? No, say through 3 years. Is Zeke Elliott on his way? Now, it's even that one, even though Zeke has 2 rushing titles, probably would have a 3rd if he didn't get suspended. He's got, okay, awesome, do it for another 13 seasons, and you're Emmitt Smith. But at least he's put down the foundation of it.
Okay.
Dak is...
That's enough of
right now.
I'm sorry. Nick makes me ill. I'm sorry. It is an interesting comparison, and hello, everybody. Thank everybody for joining in tonight to our live stream here. Let me pan out a little bit here. Look at this. Look at this right here. I know you guys used to hate this thing, but you're beginning to like it now. It's beginning to grow on you now that it's under 100. In fact, under 200, because it was 226. Right now, look at that. 96 days. It seemed like it was yesterday that I just did the countdown from 100 to 99. Look, already 96. 96 days, 23 hours, 14 minutes. We will be kicking off the season opening game. Shit. I love it. And let me wake up the football legends up here. It seems like we've had a lot of controversy on what to call my Dallas Cowboys greats of all time up there. I'm talking about Roger Staubach. I'm talking about my man Tom Landry, the master up there, Harvey Martin. I mean, damn, you've got the cream of the crop. And some people get offended because I say football gods. Wasn't meaning any disrespect or anything, but hey, it is what it is. But anyway, back to their point. I understand because Warren Moon is a Hall of Famer. Warren Moon was incredible. Warren Moon went to Canada and threw for 21,000 yards in the Canadian League because he couldn't get a job in the NFL because, well, he didn't have starting black quarterbacks in the NFL. But after winning 5 Grey Cups in 5 years, he came back. Came back to the United States, got a job working in the NFL. And comparing Dak Prescott to Warren Moon, when you look at Warren Moon, who threw for 49,000 yards, 291 touchdowns, and had 4 seasons of over 4,200 yards back when quarterbacks weren't throwing for 4,000 yards, is amazing. I will give you that. I saw Warren Moon in Seattle about 4 years ago. I'm sorry, Warren Moon is not an NFL quarterback anymore. So you can kind of take that stuff that, oh, I'd take Warren Moon today. Oh, come on. Let's get real now, Nick. Let's get real. It's like, Nick, how you have a job, man? How the hell do you have a job? Because, oh, there's Miss Jackie. How you doing, Miss Jackie? And yes, Miss Jackie was worried all night that, my power wasn't coming back on, but it finally came on about 1 o'clock this morning. But here's the interesting thing, because, and I know, I saw a meme this morning that was hilarious. It had this girl who's sitting there explaining stuff, real excited about explaining. And then it had her mother sitting there underneath a blanket looking like this. And the caption was explaining Dak Prescott's numbers to the non-believers, basically. And that's how it is, because no matter what you say about Dak, it doesn't get into the cranium at all. And that's part of the reason why I do these videos about Dak Prescott, because you hear so much garbage like this about Dak. But here's the thing, Gigi. Hold up. Time out. When Cris Carter played with Warren Moon had many, many, many years of experience playing football in the NFL. But here's the thing. And I know people are going to say I'm manipulating statistics here. Oh, you're crazy. You're just a Dak defender. You will just, I loved it today because somebody said, oh, stats don't mean anything. You got to pass the eye test. David Sanders, thank you very much for that super chat. Really? Well, I'm going to use some statistics right now. I don't know where Dak Prescott's career is going to end up. Unfortunately, in the NFL, you can end up being Alex Smith, and in one play, your career's done. That's the reality of football. You could look at Bo Jackson and said he was the greatest runner out there. But unfortunately, an injury took his career away. But here's the thing. You can compare Dak to Warren Moon at the same point in their career. Now, keep in mind, Warren Moon went to Canada and threw 21,000 yards in 5 years in Canada. Unbelievable. But when he came back to the NFL, here's what's interesting. This is the numbers, excuse me, right here. Let me see if I can get my pen working. It has a mind of its own. You have to click on it. Oh, but that's all right. Oh, wrong one. One of these days I'm going to get this thing to work right. But there we go. All right. Here's what's interesting, because when he first came back to the NFL, here's his touchdowns. First year, 12. Second year, 15. Third year, 13. So he averaged 13.3 touchdown passes per game. And I know this was a different era, totally different era. Like I said, this was back in the Stone Ages, back when I played football. But here's the interceptions, because regardless of where you look at this. 14 interceptions, 19 interceptions, 26 interceptions. So the first 3 years of him in the NFL, he averaged 3,178 yards. Again, that was a lot of yards back in the day. Okay? A lot of yards. But 13 touchdowns, 19 interceptions, and a rating of 69. So we look at that compared to Dak, what he's done his first 3 years. And again, different era. I get that. I know it's a different era, so don't say that I'm just, regardless. I know that Dak Prescott has more touchdown passes than interceptions. And I'm not saying this to throw shade at Warren Moon, because it's hell to play in the NFL. Oh, let me zoom in. Okay. Unfortunately, my camera is off over there. But Dak Prescott, let's pull up his numbers here real quick. Bam. $10,876, 67 passing TDs, and 25 interceptions. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want you guys to start sending me your hate mail and things, okay? Don't come after me and say, how dare you? Because I know that's what some of you guys will do. But that's all you can compare at this point, is where they were in their career. Now, if Dak Prescott plays for another 10 years, he has the opportunity to get in there like Warren Moon's numbers were, where Warren Moon was still, lighting it up for 4,200 yards, in 1995, and played until 2000 was his last year at 208 yards. When he plays, yes, it's possible that he could reach that point. We don't know what he'll be in the future. All we can compare right now is where we are right now. And right now, you got to look at it and say his numbers are actually, compared to Warren Moon's at this point in their career, pretty good. And you could say the same thing about Russell Wilson, because almost to a man, I keep going through and I keep telling you guys, for me, it's the power of 4. The fourth year, generally speaking, is when NFL quarterbacks take a leap. And if you don't believe me, just go look. Just look up your favorite quarterbacks, from Aaron Rodgers, from Big Ben, from Troy Aikman. A lot of times, the first couple of years, man, it's not that great, or it's average. But then all of a sudden, boom, something happens, something clicks. The whole game slows down. I don't know what you call it, but it's the power of 4. And I believe that's going to happen because of a couple of reasons. This year should be the year that you turn back around and say, oh my goodness, what happened? I'll tell you what happened. This season, if you look at my quarterback, Dak Prescott, and you look at how relaxed and how comfortable he is in the system, working with Kellen and working with Jon Kitna, it's like the skies have parted. The black clouds have disappeared of Scott Linehan. And you feel this relaxed feeling That's the first thing. The second thing is going to be the play calling. The play calling is going to be different. We already know there's going to be more disguises. Not necessarily more complex, but instead of just lining up and saying, man on man, beat the guy in front of you and let's see what happens, they're going to still run Zeke probably quite a bit, but it's not going to be just from a 12 formation. It might be a two-back offense. It might end up being a 4 wide receiver set. You're going to try and confuse the defenses and make them guess what you're going to do. That's going to help Dak Prescott. And you got to look at it and say, from where we start off the beginning of this year, the talent that you have at wide receiver, I honestly look at this and say, you may have the best talented group in general overall than you've had since you had Michael Irvin and Alvin Harper and Jay Novacek. I mean, I know we had T.O. and Miles Austin when he was having that good period, but, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but I'm looking at it all three. I see Michael Gallup as a guy who's going to be able to make some plays and hopefully continue to grow. I see Randall Cobb has got his speed back, doesn't seem to have any issues with the hamstring, and unlike Odell Beckham, he wants to succeed, and he's putting in the work. So you've got that dynamic. You got the dynamic of the offensive line having the potential to being, again, one of the top NFL offensive lines. So you put all that together, I pretty much think that you're going to see over 4,000 yards from Dak Prescott, and maybe you see 30 touchdown passes. Call me crazy. I don't know, but that's what I see. Now, you guys can dispute it. You can tell me that I'm a crazy man because, well, everybody's got something to say about me one way or the other. That, I don't know what it's been this week. This week, I've been getting more hate mail than usual. And you know what? I love it. I absolutely love it because that means, here's the thing. When people come at you, when they take enough time that they send you an email or they make sure they write a post over and just keep responding over and over and over again, you know what that means? You know what that means? That means that I'm up in their mind, that it is bothering them. Didn't Simus put me in my place? Bob, who the hell are you? Simus, you know what?
23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
That's what I got to say about that, my man. This is the thing that's really cool. I'm a Dallas Cowboys YouTuber. I live the Dallas Cowboys every single day. I love my Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'll go over and I'll check out Philly 500 from time to time because he's my boy. He's my boy. But I don't just randomly just show up in Redskins or Eagles. I just don't do that. But for some reason, I got this guy, somebody from New Orleans, who's up in here talking trash. I got some Browns. I got some Doodle Browns haters now. Oh my goodness. I know, right, Boomer, exactly, 49ers. Yeah, when is Garoppolo going to be able to start practicing? Isn't he still recovering? And how much money did you pay him? How much? Yeah. You 49er fans ain't had much to talk about in a while. You might want to... So, come on, man. Come on. Just relax, man. Until you guys start doing something, relax, okay? But when you start getting people that are constantly like that, how much they hate you and stuff, you're in their head. You have gotten under their skin. You're pissing them off. And you know what? I love it. My man Sal, I see Sal up in here. He called up today and he's like, man, I can't believe, he's like, because I told Sal, I said, Sal, listen, if you do YouTube, and this is for everybody that's out there, if you do YouTube, understand one thing. Thank you, Sheila. Yeah, that's my quarterback. That's my teammate. If you do YouTube, you've got to have a thick skin because you're going to be called everything but the child of God. Oh, there's Vosh in the house. What's going on, Vosh? Seriously, people going to come at you and tell you you're stupid, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, you're ugly, you're fat. They're going to say you're retarded. They're going to say you're a mental case. They're going to say that you're in love with Dak, that you're, everything in the world. And you just got to be able to brush it off. You just got to keep on moving on and just do what you want to do, because you can't make everybody happy. So that's where we are with that. So with that being said, let's start talking about our Dallas Cowboys. We have just finished up week 2 of the OTAs. We now have 6 practices out of the way. We have 6 more left. We have 3 OTA practices next week, and then the following week we have the 3 mini camp practices, and then school's out until training camp, when I believe they go off on the 25th of July. We are less than 2 months away from Connecticut Cowboys. Easily, okay, here's the thing, Connecticut Cowboys. I think easily he gets over 30 between both. I do have. Hypothetically, if you just take what he did the last 8 games of the season, having Amari Cooper, he threw 12 TDs and rushed for 4. That's 16. If you double that, then you're going to have 32. So Bob Money, Simon's called me a fraud, and did you check out any of his videos, laugh out loud? Yes, I saw when he called me a fraud, and I'll tell you exactly what happened, since you are late to the party, Bob Money, Mr. San Francisco. When the Earl Thomas situation happened, when I had said that the Cowboys were talking to Seattle, which they were, about it, and Mike Fisher came through and said, dude, there's nothing to that. And then it was funny because a few days later he was talking about the Dallas Cowboys trying to make a move for Earl Thomas. So Simus did a video and said, I'm a fraud. You can't be lying and up in here clickbait. I don't clickbait. I bring you what I'm being told. I got some people I know that work with the Cowboys or friends of the Cowboys and things like that. So, it doesn't mean I'm always going to be right, or the tips that I'm getting are always going to be right. Hell, take a look at Ian Rappaport. You know what I'm saying? And apparently, there's a few people, not many. I know there's only a couple people that come in and watch me. But there's a few people that do come in and watch the channel and like what I do. Now, maybe what you ought to do, Bob Money, is go on and find a San Francisco 49er channel. Or better yet, go hang out with Simus. That's cool with me. You don't have to, if you don't dig my rap, that's cool. I'm okay. It's fine. There are plenty of places. In fact, there's channels out there that are devoted to hating Mark Holmes. So please have a good time, enjoy them, hang out with them, because I tell you what I'm going to do.
But winners worry about winning, and losers worry about winners. So we're focused on ourselves in this locker room, about what we need to do to get better each and every phase of this game, and be ready for this week. We're not worried about he say, she say. He say, she say.
Dude Love, I think you're going to see the offense open up all the way around. Okay? I think you're going to see a little bit of everything with the Dallas Cowboys. One thing that they realized with Dak Prescott is Dak Prescott in the red zone is literally averaging almost 5 yards a carry. Now, I don't want my quarterback to be a running quarterback like they're trying to say Dak Prescott is versus Warren Moon, that, Dak Prescott's a running. No, he's not a running quarterback. He runs when he has to. It's not like he's looking out there to say, let me just run the football. Not like, say, Baltimore is looking at, okay? But they realize you got to pick and choose your spots where to run. And sometimes you're going to use your quarterback as a decoy. And so you're going to see some probably running in the red zone. You're going to see them go ahead and flank out and probably go into 4 wideouts to spread the field, and then have Dak go out, on a naked bootleg and run the ball. Rob Williams, thank you. How's it going, man? I'm just living the dream, uh, enjoying being here and thinking about football, man. I absolutely positively love coming in here Monday nights, Friday nights, talking with all you great fans and stuff, and living the dream and dying with the Dallas Cowboys. That's all I enjoy. Having great fans out there from like Miss Jackie. I see Sal and stuff in there. Yeah, Sal. I don't know what to say on that one. I don't know what to say. Well, Sue would have been better the option than McCoy, but you know what? We're not going for either of them because here's the thing. If we hadn't gone for Tristan Hill, I think we would have looked at Ndamukong Suh. But see, the Cowboys are looking at the long picture. There was an interesting article. Adam Shine was looking at the New England Patriots because the question is okay, Bill Belichick has been a little bit kind of at odds with ownership a few times. He didn't want to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and stuff. And you see the writing on the wall. Gronk is gone. I know Tom Brady won the Super Bowl again last year, but you could see his numbers are beginning to start going downhill. And sooner or later, he's going to have the Peyton Manning syndrome where he's going to finally hit a wall. It might be another year or two. I don't know. It could be next year. You just don't know. But you know that the best years are definitely behind him. And so then you're talking about finding another quarterback and rebuilding. So it's possible that you're coming to the end of that dynasty. So Adam Shine was going through and trying to figure out teams that could become the next dynasty to replace New England. And one of his picks was the Dallas Cowboys. And the reason being is he looks at this team and you look at the young players. You look at the offensive line. You look at DeMarcus Lawrence, one of the best pass rushers out there. You look at this great linebacking core of Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch. You look at a coach like Chris Richard that's back in there that's changing the team. You look at Zeke Elliott being a generational runner. You look at Dak Prescott, who's not Aaron Rodgers yet, but he is a leader that is a guy who wins games. And you look at this group being the 7th youngest team in the NFL. And you look at the depth, and all of a sudden you can see where this team has actually been good the last 3 years. 13-5 in their division. I know the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but we've been 13-5 in our division and literally owning it. And it's conceivable that as they finally seem to get this formula right of drafting good players that you have to pay and keep reloading, that if they continue another 2 years of drafting the way they've been drafting, they're filling in the holes and they are able to let guys go. You can see us. We let go Cole Beasley, and at the moment it looks like you got a better player in return in Randall Cobb. We lose Randy Gregory, although he may be back, maybe. But you get a Robert Quinn who had the same numbers as far as sacks goes as Randy Gregory without all the penalties that Randy Gregory had, as well as the baggage. So you upgrade there, and you end up getting more talent in your draft to plug holes. Oh, and you get an all-pro center back. So you start looking at it and saying, yeah, it's conceivable that this team shouldn't be a one-hit wonder that's sneaking up on people. This is a team that should be able to bludgeon people. I don't know for sure how many games they'll win. Shit can happen. But on paper, you can look at this and say, got a good offensive line. You got a great running back if he doesn't get suspended. You got a decent quarterback. You've got some fast wide receivers. You got a possession tight end. You got a young one that came on at the end of the year. You got top 10 defense. You got a bit to work with. Well, thank you very much, Corey. I'm better than a talking head. I appreciate that. How you doing tonight, Sheila? Raymond, how you doing? Tut King, how you doing? Derek Savage, Carlos, Robert, Boomer Center. Hey, what's happening? Oh, That's another one of Boomer. That's another one of the trolls that I have. I have many trolls that keep messing with me. So it is what it is. They don't bother me that much anymore. I just kind of brush it off. From time to time, I'll play with them a bit, but they've got nothing better to do. We're going to beat the soup out of people because of the depth in the trenches if we can stay healthy. What am I cooking for the first game? Well, the first game, we are actually going to be in Dallas. Carlos D. Laura. Football gods, let it be. I appreciate that. No, I don't think I want to be president, man. I got too many skeletons in my closet. You know what I mean? If I got a voodoo doll out front, you can only imagine what I have in my closet. Timothy Looper, I'm not a troll. Anthony Cullens, what's up? Behave or else. Oh, you heard Miss Jackie. Behave or else. We're going to save the rum shots for Joe Boo for the season. We're going to make sure he's thirsty when the season gets here. But I tell you what we're going to do. Let me see if I can get this set up real quick. Let's see. I'm actually going to take a couple of calls tonight, okay? Let's see if I've got this straightened out and working. So far, no hiccups with the channel. I'm finally getting used to using the whole setup, and hopefully by the time the season gets here, I will be in much better shape. Okay, there we go. All right. Timothy Looper, I'm impressed that you're one of the few that pronounced that name correctly. Whose name? You mean I got somebody's name right? Psh, I'm a name butcher. I butcher everybody's name up. So, okay. I can't believe I got one right. Oh, I didn't open. Oh, man. Let me open up for business here. I woke up the football gods at least. Man, I can't wait for training camp. I'm not sure exactly when we're going to go to training camp, but I'm going to be there for a couple of days. Mark Holmes and Vice President Joe Boo, they got my vote. Come on, man. Come on, man. What was interesting for me today, can Miss Jackie call in? Well, Miss Jackie, she could call in, actually. You want to talk to Miss Jackie? Okay. See if I've got it right. Actually, I am not hearing. Oh, hold on. I may have messed up. Let's see. Technical difficulty. Hold up, guys. Let me see if I've got it. One of you's not plugged in. All right, I messed up, guys. I should have checked it beforehand, and I might have unplugged one of the cables. Hang on for just 1 second. Yeah, I screwed the pooch. I was this close to having everything right. Okay, actually, here's how we can do it.
Boss Cowboy. To accept, press 1.
Boss Cowboy, how you doing? Boss Cowboy, how you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, not too much. What's a good word?
Man, I'm just
just checking your show out, man. It's actually West Coast told me that you're doing it on Friday night, so thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. If I'd known you wanted to come on, man, I would have you Skype in as opposed to just on the telephone.
Okay, yeah, it's my first time checking out. We'll get all that situated, but
Okay.
just, checking you out, man, loving it.
Oh, I appreciate that. Well, Boss, for those of you who don't know, Boss Cowboy is on with West Coast. You guys are on twice a day, isn't it? The afternoon and the evening drive time, basically, for us here. Talking, of course, about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm glad you're on. The last time I was on with you guys last week, you guys beat this old guy up. You know that, right?
We beat you up. Oh, man.
No, man. Yeah, no, because I was trying to explain something, and my man West Coast kind of rolled his eyes at me like, "Oh Lord, get this old guy off the front porch here, man. He's an idiot." Yeah, he gave me one of those kind of rolls because I was talking about. No, this is actually fits in real good. You remember what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, we were talking about 12.
Yeah, but see, what I was trying to explain, I was using 12 as an analogy because, we used to have Scott Linehan, who basically his philosophy was we're just going to line up and we're just going to beat people. And when we got into 12 personnel, we ran the ball 67% of the time, right?
Yeah.
So if you saw two tight ends, what are you going to say? Put 8 men in the box, we're going to stop it, and you're going to get less yardage on it. And I was trying to say that, look, if we do 12 personnel, it doesn't have to be just a running formation. In fact, you want to try and pass out of it. And I started doing some research on it.
Okay.
Do you know, this is what's interesting. In the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history, that last drive that New England scored a touchdown on, they ran 12 personnel 4 times in a row. They got the Rams in a heavy package, but they passed the ball all 4 times, leading to the only touchdown in that game.
Yeah.
And that's what I was trying to say is, look, we can be more dynamic with the offense because you get in a situation like that, teams are going to think, okay, you're going to run on the ball, right? But I can pass depending on what the defense is. Then you can start taking your quarterback and reading the defense and taking whatever they give you and going for what's most advantageous. I wasn't saying that we should always run 12 personnel, but I was trying to, use that for an example. But have you seen or heard all these different sets that we've been doing?
Oh, yeah. Like, for example, they ran 10, and for the audience...
In the red zone. In the red zone.
That was like, whoa. Like, and just to kind of talk about what happened that day, West Coast and now, we kind of more so, that was more of a reaction because we was burnt out on 12, so 12 does work. And, forgive us for kind of going crazy on you that day, but it's almost like when you come out of a bad relationship and somebody reminds you of that relationship, you say, without really giving a new relationship a chance. And after reviewing it, a lot of your points was right, It's just that we kind of hated 12, especially with the tight ends that we currently have. So, and then I talked to OC. I don't know if you remember OC Charles.
Yeah.
The OC.
Mm-hmm.
So he was also selling me on 12, but it has to be 12 with the right people.
Right.
So no, we all the way caught up with you now. That was just a reaction. That was a
I was like, y'all made me feel so old, man. I was like, he was like, nah, man, we just need to throw that 12, man, just get it out of the play. But I was just like, damn, he won't even listen to my point. But no,
and we openly debate on his show, so we kind of used to that. And the one thing the both of us made a change and said we're going to be nice to our guests because we the West Coast and I, we debate openly all the time. What I mean? We agree and we don't agree, but we gotta be good to the guests. Because everybody's not used to that. So we said, what, that was kind of a little bit rude, but we used to that though. But going forward, we're gonna be a little bit more, tactful.
Oh no, man. See, what I want you to do is, man, I want you to bring it because I actually enjoy doing that. In fact, I love having debates and stuff. Because here's the thing, you know what? I have no problem when people say, you know what, Dak Prescott is a bad quarterback, and here's the reasons why. Okay, give me your argument. We'll have a discussion, and maybe I'll see something that I didn't see before because you have a difference of opinion. But automatically, people will close their mind when they have an opinion and they won't listen to somebody else, because I know I'm not right all the time, believe me. In fact, I'm probably more wrong than I am right, and it's good to hear a difference of opinion, because what might happen is between the two of us, we come up with something totally different, totally new, that's earth-shattering.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, we pride ourselves on being independent. So I'm glad to know that you open for sometimes us to just flat out disagree. And then together we all work around to the truth. And West Coast say that a lot, and that's why I really love doing shows with him.
Yeah.
Because he'll say, look, it's a fact, and then it's the truth, and then when truth come around, you adjust your fact to that truth. That's one of his favorite sayings. So, we all, the favorite sayings of the scriptures is iron sharpens iron. That's what we really doing on social media, especially when we debate. So, but 12 in itself, I'm cool with it. It versus the right people, right? So
right.
we going against a team to where our tight ends are going to really kind of open it up against the linebackers. Let's do it. If we going against a team where we know they're weak against the run,
right,
we're going to bully them and beat them up, okay, let's run out there with 12. Now, if we run up against the Redskins, where we know they have a strong front,
right,
and they built for us, no, I don't want 12 at all. I want us to go and air it out on them, because we know it's going to be a struggle to run. So it really more so varied, which really showed that we was more so reacting, because really you was right. It just depends on the game.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that is amazing, because when you think about our Dallas Cowboys, more times than not, it's it always drives me crazy, because Jason Garrett will always say the way we do things around here. It's not the Cowboys, and they won't. And it's just like, you're so rigid. And that was Scott Linehan. It was like, and I think that's part of the reason why you look at this team right now and you feel like, the skies have opened up and everybody is feeling so much better, because it was always, it's my way or the highway. And you now see that Kellen Moore wants to be on the sidelines. He wants to communicate with everybody directly, and you're going to see hopefully something that's a lot better. And unfortunately, I messed up here, and I think I slipped and unplugged one of the wires, because you're not plugged into the system where everybody can hear you better. But what I'm going to do, I'll get you next time to call in, Skype in, to Cowboy Joe Booth. And that way I can just put you up on the screen, get you in there, and they can hear you a lot better. All right?
Okay, ain't no problem, and thanks for taking my call.
All right, yeah, but everybody check out West Coast Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys scouting channel and stuff on Facebook, and as well as on YouTube. So we'll get that together and hopefully have a great time with it. Okay?
Okay, much love, Mark, and keep doing what you're doing. Love it.
All right, take it easy, man. Okay, so I screwed the pooch. I did what I always do, because I always mess stuff up. There's actually a cable right here that I normally plug right into my phone. It communicates back and forth, but something happened. One of my settings got changed, and I can't play with it at this moment to go ahead and do it. So we'll do call-ins on Monday night. So forgive me, guys. I'm not perfect. I screw things up, I try. And next time I need to get down earlier and test everything. You're still hearing an echo? The echo should be gone now. Let me make sure the echo is gone, because I think I had the, I know the echo should be gone now. All right, so hopefully the echo's out of the way. Now, that was my man from Dallas Cowboy Scouting and stuff. We had, like I said, a heated discussion about 12 personnel. And I wasn't saying that we need to line up every single play for 12 personnel, because ideally what you really want to be able to do is you want to look at a matchup. Some teams are going to have a great front seven, front eight. with that safety in the box, and it's going to be harder to run on that. So something like that, then you're going to have to pass more, in which case you're going to want to have 3 and 4 wideouts and things. Other situations, you may be on goal line, you're going to want to have 2 running backs in there. So it's going to be cool. But back to, somebody was asking what I was going to be cooking for the first game. The first game, we're going to actually be in Dallas, probably at Cowboys Experience tailgate, and we'll be eating whatever they're doing. But week two, if you are going to the Redskin game, and if you don't have tickets or have a package and stuff, get in touch with Cowboys Experience and tell them that I sent you. That way you can kind of get yourself some free merchandise and stuff and get a break on it. But they're actually going to be staying at the Dallas Cowboys Hotel. And so if you want to stay with the Cowboys, you're going to see them in the lobby. You'll see them coming in and everything else. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be doing a tailgate. We're going to actually have a barbecue pit master that's going to come rolling in with his whole setup and everything else there. I'm going to be doing Jobu wings. I'm going to have about 150 pounds of chicken wings to cook. And so we're going to have pulled pork sliders. We're going to have ribs. We're going to have chicken wings. We're going to have chili. We're going to have a couple of TVs out there. So that way, even if you don't want to go inside that toxic waste dump of FedEx Field, and I can't blame you. I can't blame you for not wanting to go into that stadium because it's crap. We had people that actually tailgated the whole time out in the parking lot watching the game, eating chicken wings and everything else. Check out South of Heaven and My Cowboys Family. Okay. The camera angle is off. Well, that's actually the side camera that's over here. I can always change up and go to this camera that's right here. But yeah, Roscoe was chilling over there. You can almost see Michael Anthony's foot over there too, if I move the camera a little bit more. Where's this game going to be? The season opening game is going to be in Dallas against the New York Stinking Giants. And then, of course, we got the Redskins the following week in D.C. So I'll be at both of those games. Vosh, you probably, I know you would love to call a game running just 12 personnel. Because you're old school offensive lineman, man. I know that for a fact. What happened to my... Okay, I kind of screwed the pooch over here, didn't I? You definitely would love to do 12 personnel, because I know you would just run the hell out of the ball. But I think we're going to need to mix some things up. In fact, I'm looking forward to mixing some things up. Boy, I really did screw the pooch on this tonight. I messed up all the way around on that. Damn the Giants. Tell them, Bosch. Good night, Zeppelin fan. Thanks for joining in. Well, see, and, you know, Bosch, you got to admit that running 12 personnel this year, it'll be a lot better than running it last year, because now you got 2 speedsters between Randall Cobb and Amari Cooper that you can put on the outside. You got a good tight end, or at least a possession tight end, in Jason Witten. I know you can't use him every play, but there's certain plays you can use him on there. And the thing that, oh, man. Uh-oh, I'm about to get cussed out here, guys. Hello, West Coast.
What's up with you, man? You still live?
I'm still live, man. You calling me to cuss me out?
Nah, absolutely not, man. I think people are beating you up on the 12, man. This is my thing, right?
Yeah.
This is my thing. It's all about situational. And my thing,
I agree.
The reason why I like 10 and 11 personnel is because we already have so many people complaining about how much the usage and the contact that we're putting on Zeke. Well, guess what? That is going to alleviate some of that. Why? Because, one, he's going to be going, if we can get to the second level like we were in 2016, that's going to put him on with hitting on linebackers. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing that I love about the 10 and 11 person, don't think about this. Most teams, the most effective team that uses the 11 and 10 personnel the most is the New England Patriots.
Yes.
They have something. They have a threat that, we have a threat that New England doesn't have, and that's a running quarterback.
True.
They're effective in the 10 and 11 formation. You said formation, but in personnel, either way you want to say it. They're effective in it, and Tom Brady is guaranteed not to be a running threat. But think about this. You add that same offense with Dak Prescott, who does have the ability, and think about this. Dak Prescott in the last 2 years has led the NFL in rushing quarterback touchdown. That's already his now.
Well, at last 3 years he's led them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just know I'm going to be glad to see the running for his life. You know what I'm saying? But I like that. I like it because, obviously you can't do it every year, but, I like it because, I'm not trying to put no shade on that, but 11 and 12 personnel, honestly, it makes it easier on your quarterback because, honestly, all you really got to do is like backyard football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whoever gets open first.
That's right.
That's what Dak is. And in my opinion, that's what they meant. That's what they were really trying to do when they were trying to do wide receiver by committee. That is actually the attribute that they were trying to say with your Dak. Because remember Dak made that statement about Dez Bryant. Well, I'll throw the ball to Dez when Dez is open. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what he was saying. Like, that's why the Cowboys even tried the wide receiver by committee, because they know at heart, Dak doesn't care how much you make. If you're open, you're going to get the ball. The reason why Cooper gets on target is because he gets open, not because he's the first-round pick. Like, Dak doesn't care about that.
True.
The cool thing about it is, if you're an upcoming wide receiver, you'll love Dak on that aspect because you know if you do your job, you have a chance to get the ball.
Amen. Well, everybody, we're talking to West Coast Dallas Cowboys. He's actually going to be joining us at the tailgate at FedEx Field week 2 and stuff. And we're doing some work and stuff together and stuff. And we have some great discussion and stuff. You definitely need to check out his channel and stuff. He's on here on YouTube, Dallas Cowboys Scouting, and definitely Dallas Cowboys Scouting on Facebook and stuff. But
appreciate you, LG.
Oh, no problem. But, let me ask you while I got you on here for a minute. We don't have too much time left on the show. How are you feeling about all the stuff you're hearing about Kellen Moore? People are kind of beginning to say that, we were worried about Cris Carter being the coach that we'd lose that becomes the head coach. People are beginning to anoint him already as like the next hot head coaching prospect. Are you buying that hype?
Absolutely. That's why I'm on the train of telling people that Jason Garrett is gone regardless. Because if Jason Garrett thinks like this, if we win a Super Bowl, if we're sitting up right now and we're talking about we won the Super Bowl 2019 was the ride of our life, how much of that credit are you giving to Jason Garrett? Because if it's not more than 50%, why do I need to give him another contract? That makes no sense. Ooh. So in my opinion, and then think about this, if Jason Garrett tanks and we don't do good, he's gone. He's also gone. So to be honest with you, I think Jason Garrett's gone regardless. Because you don't need him. You don't need him. If Kellen Moore can come in here and all I'm asking Kellen Moore to do is have the exact same effect or similar effect that Cris Carter had on the defense. Like, the defense we know has a culture. Mm-hmm. We know about them hot boys, we know about that defense, them back end boys. You know what I'm saying? It has a culture. Mm-hmm. We have a standard that they're supposed to live up to. When they gave up 128 yards to the Colts, we were like, yo, that is not us. Like, our defense let us down because we had a standard. No, we was averaging 19 points last year and nobody cared.
Right.
Like, we were just hoping we won. You know what I'm saying? So, Kellen Moore, if he can bring a culture in here, I think we're going to be fine because we still have basically the same team as 2015. And I will say this on air, on the largest Cowboy podcast out there in America, that's yours.
Really? So they're not doing too good then?
Anybody that got 200 people listening to them in, what is this, May?
Okay.
I got shorts on right now.
All right.
And you're the man, bro. You know what what I'm saying is, like, this is the best team, and I love you from there. So this is the best team that the Cowboys have probably had since 2013, and probably a better than 2014 because the running back is better. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this is a ridiculous team. So if we can get out there and just spread them out and just Kellen Moore, like, honestly, the only thing he really needs to fix is third down. Get us out. The best way to fix third down conversion
and red zone.
Go to third down. No, don't even go to third down. Mm-hmm. Convert on first down. Run plays on first down. That's what we did in 2016. That's why we were so effective on the third down. The reason why we were so effective is because we also had the least amount of actual attempts. Because on first down, we would get 6 yards. Mm-hmm. On second down, you have 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, 2nd and 5 at worst. Our offense is so predicated on that very first play. Because I'm going to tell you, how many times have we got to be first down, and then we get 2 yards, then it's second and 8. If we get 3 yards, it's 3rd and 6 now, and guess what they're doing? They're basically doing a fake punt play. Where they just Scotland and just gives up on the damn play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Getting our offense and what Kellen Moore really has to do is honestly stay away from third down. Be effective. Focus on being effective on first down. Mm-hmm. I mean, going for plays that are like 6 and 7 yards on first down. Then you can do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. Because I think Kellen Moore. What I think the Dallas Cowboys are really going to do, honestly, is, you know, when it comes to his coaching, because Jason Garrett's gone regardless. And if I'm Jason Garrett, why do I want to come back to the Dallas Cowboys? Like, if that means I'm going to have to, if I win a Super Bowl this year and keep my job, what do I got to do next year to keep my contract?
Right.
I got to win the Super Bowl, like standing on my head. You know what I'm saying? Like what more else can I do?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens on that one. All right, man. Well, it's almost time for me to get up out of here, man. Everybody, check out Dallas Cowboys Scouting. Yeah. All right, but definitely check out Dallas Cowboys Scouting. All right, man. I'll talk to you later, West Coast.
Sounds good, man.
All right, and of course we got Vosh in here. If you want to know anything about a player or anything out there, check out Vosh Lombardi. I will take him against any of the talking heads that are on ESPN and stuff. He knows these players better than anybody else. So there's a lot of places now, because here's the thing. I got a lot of you guys that come in here and tell me how stupid I am, how much this sucks and all that. But hey, listen. You can go to Vosh. You can go to West Coast Cowboys. You can go to My Cowboys Family. You can go to, let's see, Cowboys Legend 27. You can go to, Space Cowboys. You can go to Law Nation. There's plenty of places that you can get your Dallas Cowboys fix out of. So, spread some of the love with some of the other people and things, because everybody comes in here and they work hard to do this. This is not an easy thing to do, to come down here, take the abuse and everything else that you do when you do this. But I'm going to tell you, you won't find people that love the Dallas Cowboys or work any harder than you will here in this YouTube community. And of course, Michael Anthony Fitness. You better damn sure check out Michael Anthony Fitness. But one thing that was kind of cool, I did a video earlier today about it, was I had some people, because there's a lot of people that are new to the channel and they want to understand what is the point of having Joe Boo. So I did like a background story on Joe Boo. But I think what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start doing like a little clip each week or each show of what I used to do with Joe Boo, because it used to be I was just behind the scenes, that Joe Boo was actually the star, and I need to probably get back to that. So I'm going to show you guys this little clip before.
Hello friends, Cowboy Joe Boo here with the Joe Boo Sports Report. And guys, I am here with one of the stars from The Daily Show, and I got to ask him a question. Rob Riddle, any advice for a budding comedian here? Any advice? Any?
Joe Boo, is it?
Joe Boo, Cowboy Joe Boo, the most interesting voodoo doll in the NFL.
Honestly, don't change a thing. I actually think you're ahead of the curve, my man.
You heard it live from Rob Riddle. I'm Cowboy Joe Boo, in awe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we're going to do that as like a weekly section. We're going to pull up some old Joe Boo clips and stuff. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of the stuff on my other channel when YouTube shut me down and things. But we're going to kind of try and make it fun and stuff, and then that way you guys can understand a little bit more about Joe Boo and stuff on here. But I feel really, really good about what I've been hearing from our team. It sounds like a team. And thus far, with the exception of Tyrone Crawford and his situation, and we don't know what's going to happen with that, and Zeke Elliott with that punk, that whole, I don't even want to talk about that interview. Look up, here's what I want you guys to do, and this will probably piss you off when you do it, is look up USA Today's list of NFL players that have been arrested. And go down the list and look at some of these charges that people have been arrested for. And I look at that, and nobody seems to get in the trouble that the Dallas Cowboys do. And it really kind of starts to bug you after a while, because I know Zeke Elliott's not perfect. But I'm sitting here looking at that kid basically saying he wants another apology, a sincere apology. It's like you want Zeke Elliott to crawl across the floor. And Zeke is wrong, and he's got to understand that he's got to be better than everybody else. But still, it's just a little bit pisses you off. But what I love is how this team is already coming together. that we don't have people that don't show up for off-season workouts. Everybody is there busting their tail. You've got to make guys like Jason Witten take a day off because, you know, you're older and stuff like that. That these guys are working together as a group. They are out in public helping and supporting each other. And that is going to help because when you are down, I equate football to being in war. When you're in that foxhole, you want to know that that guy's got your back, that he's got your interests at heart too, because that's what it takes. And when you look at somebody, and I don't mean to throw Odell Beckham under the bus, but I'm going to throw Odell Beckham under the bus. To be the new guy in town and to figure, I don't need to work out. I'll just show up and play and be good. I'm sorry. I don't want nothing to do with you. And that is going to be the cancer that kills the Cleveland Browns. Even though everybody's got them picked to be, oh, they're going to be a 12-win team. They've got more talent. Yeah, they have more talent, but they don't have a team. And the Dallas Cowboys are becoming a team. So, guys, ladies, kids, pastors, everybody, this community that is the Dallas Cowboys family, thank you very much for joining in. I'll figure out what I did wrong, and we'll do call-ins, and we'll do an extended show on Monday night and taking more of your calls. But everybody, thank you very much for the Super Chats, for subscribing, for commenting, for being here and being part of the show. But right now, it's time to turn down the lights, because this party's over.
Lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.